So, welcome to the Aflac annual enrollment session. My name is Chris Gauger. I am with Pinellas County Human Resources in the Benefits Department. And we have our special guest today that's going to present the annual enrollment session, Jim Fail from Aflac. Go
Good
ahead,
morning.
Jim.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon. Good morning, everyone. Like Chris said, I'm Jim Fail, work out of our headquarters in Columbia, South Carolina, so not too far up the road. And just want to thank everybody for getting on the call today. The purpose of today's call is just to do an overview of the benefits that we've been offering at Pinellas for the last couple of years. We'll also look at kind of what the claims process looks like, talk about portability, and just if you have any, obviously during the presentation, we'll have time for some questions as well.
And I just want to say here, we're going to be using the question and answer section. So if you do have a question, you can put it right in the question and answers.
Very good. All right, to get started, I was just telling Chris as we get started, hopefully next year we'll do this in person because this background looks a lot better than the South Carolina background. All right. So this is just a quick agenda of what we'll talk about today. We'll look at the benefits just in general of the Aflac coverage. When can I enroll? I think everybody knows that it's November 1st through the 15th, so starting next week. The voluntary benefits we'll be looking at today: accident plan, critical illness plan, and a hospital indemnity plan. We'll talk just a little bit about portability, which just means if you leave your job, what's that look like to take the coverage with you, and then claims and customer service. All right, the benefits of Aflac coverage. So, and this applies to all three of the plans. These plans are completely voluntary. They do not coordinate with any major medical coverage. So when you pay the premiums for these plans, when you get the benefits of these plans, that money comes directly to you. You use it how you want to use it. You can use it to pay doctor bills. You can use it to pay regular bills. It's your money to use how you want to use it. This is just coverage that helps with deductibles, that helps with expenses that are unforeseen when you have events happen to you. There are no pre-existing condition limitations, which means we do not look back at your medical history when applying for the coverage. Guaranteed issue: we do not ask any medical questions when you're applying for coverage. So when you go to enroll, you just have to answer, what level of coverage you want, who do you want to cover. Coverage is available for yourself, your spouse, your children. Any new benefits that are elected during OE are effective January 1st, 2024. And as you get older, the benefits do not reduce. When can I enroll? Again, I think everybody knows that open enrollment starts next week and runs through November 15th. Also, for new hires, newly eligible employees, they have a window where they can enroll. And any QLEs, any qualifying life events, marriage, childbirth, those type of things, you're able to change your coverage. All right, so we will jump into the plans. And so first we will start talking about the accident plan. So the accident coverage is a plan that pays, again, all of these benefits go directly to you. It pays benefits to you to help with out-of-pocket expenses associated with the treatment in the event of an on or off the job accident. Who is eligible? As you can see, their employees ages 18 and up, spouses ages 18 and up, and children through age 26. If children are disabled, then they may be covered indefinitely past age 26. All right, so what is the accident plan? So the accident plan basically, again, is coverage that will pay benefits for specific treatments as a result of an accident. So if you think about, and on the screen here, on the check marks, you can see these are some of the more utilized benefits. So if you think about an accident, and this is any kind of accident, this is falling off a ladder, this is if you play sports, this is twisting your ankle, this is sliding into second base, breaking an ankle, dislocating. And if you think about any type of accident, what are the treatments that go along with that accident? And if you go down that list, and there are 50 benefits included, but again, we're just listing some of the major ones that you'll see on many accidents. First thing you do is you go to the doctor's office. when you go to the doctor to check out, what may have happened, x-rays, medications, those type of things. Ambulance, the more severe the accident, like a car accident, for example, you made an ambulance trip to the hospital. This plan has benefits for prescriptions, emergency room treatment, appliances. I got asked on one of these, just a quick joke. I got asked, does appliances mean washer and dryer? No, appliances, crutches, wheelchair, those type of things, just to help you recover. Fractures, dislocations, physical therapy. So again, in thinking about an accident, the more severe the accident, the more benefits you're eligible for, because the more things you're going to have to get treated for. And again, all the money that gets paid, all the benefits that get paid go directly to you. There are 2 plan options available. As you can see in that big blue bubble, there are high and low plans. And basically what that means is just the high plan is in general just double the benefit of the low plan and double the premium just for more coverage. On this slide, just you can see what the cost per pay period, and Chris, I'm assuming everybody's biweekly, because we're showing biweekly premiums here, which is 26 pay periods a year. So you can see what the costs are there. This is a really inexpensive plan to cover your whole family. And again, it's just the cost is simply based on what level plan you use and who you decide to cover. And when you go online, and Chris, please correct me if I'm wrong here, but when you go online to enroll, these premiums will show up on your portal, so you can see, if you're clicking around on different things, you'll be able to see the premium that you end up selecting.
Correct.
All right, and the last thing we want to look at the accident, and then I'll pause, just to show you sort of how this accident plan works. I mentioned the 50 benefits, about 50 benefits included, and that's just a list of any possible thing that could be treated for during the course of treatment for an accident. So I'm just going to read this left to right on this example. The high option is selected for this particular individual. You injure your leg in an accident, go to the hospital via an ambulance. Emergency room doctor diagnoses the fracture and treats you. You leave the hospital on crutches. On this example, you would get a benefit of $3,310. The below chart breaks down how that works. So you can see, like I mentioned, all the little things that go along with treating an accident have a benefit amount attached to them. Ambulance, $400, ER, $200, x-ray, $250, closure reduction fracture, $2,000, follow-up visits, $360, appliances, crutches, $100, for a total of $3,310. The cost, if for just the employee only, would be $3.36. So again, this is an example of a leg fracture as a result of an accident, and what that would pay for that. Now, before I pause here, I will say that I get asked a lot, who is this plan who is this plan for? And what I generally tell people, if you look at all the claims here at Aflac, took all the accident plans we have, about half of them get paid out for children. Why is that? Because children, anybody that's on the call today knows that if you have children, they get hurt. They're in sports, and so generally you get a lot of claims paid out for kids. And in addition to protecting your children, I'd say this will cover people with a very active lifestyle. So if you're into organized sports, or if you're very active, if you're work outside a lot, this is a plan that can also benefit you. And I jokingly say that I've got 2 boys, and I've made money off my kids because they get hurt so much. I'm half joking there, but again, this is a plan that protects you for any type of accident. This is any type of accident, 24 hours a day. Accidents around the house, accidents, car accidents, sports accidents, whatever those things might be.
Jim, there's some questions in the question and answer.
Sure.
One of the questions is, what about an ER visit for extreme pain?
If it is, if it is because of a result of an accident, where there has to be an event, right? So there has to be an accident that would cause that to cover that. So just general pain, it would not cover unless it's because of an event that happened while the coverage was in force.
Okay, and then another question, if insurance is paying part of these expenses, does Aflac still pay into this or just cover balances? That's a good question.
If we do not look at any other coverage, so if the major medical, nothing is included, this is on top of that. The premiums for this, for major medical, Pinellas and you share the cost of those premiums. For these voluntary benefits, the total cost of the premium is 100% on the employee. So the benefits go to the 100% to the employee. And again, in this, if you're looking at this example on the screen, $3,310, when that gets paid out to you, you do with that money what you want to do with it. Some accidents, some situations result in loss of work. You don't have money to buy groceries, whatever those things are. This money, you choose how to spend this money. 100% goes to the employee. Nothing is offset by medical or any other insurance. Good questions.
Okay, and then we have another one. Can you take this insurance if you leave Pinellas County?
Yes. Actually, that's part of. Later on, I'll go on. We have a slide on what that looks like if you leave the company, and how to take it with you. But the short answer is yes, you can keep it for as
Okay,
long as
and
you want.
how long do they have to file a claim?
We really don't have a limit on how to file it, on when you can file a claim, but I would say 99% of the claims we get are filed within a year of the accident. So, the longer you wait to file an accident claim, sometimes the harder it can be on you to get that paperwork and that information from the doctor. So, what we generally tell people, as soon as you get the paperwork from the hospital, the doctor, wherever you're getting that from, then we suggest, that's probably the best time to file it while it's all in there and kind of fresh. But there is, you can, if it's a year from now, you could still file it.
Okay, we have a couple more. The questions keep coming. Do you want to continue on and we'll ask more after the next slide, or do you want me just to read what we have?
If we can go over them now. You have a couple more. Yeah.
Okay, so somebody asked, do not use the copay.
There's no copay.
Okay, and then I had a sprained ankle and went to the doctor, and I was told to wear a boot for several weeks. Would this be considered an accident?
It would be, yes. Well, yes, yeah. You sprained your ankle with it. That's a result of an accident, yes. And the boot would be covered as an appliance.
Okay, all right.
Good questions. Very good questions. All right. Next plan, critical illness. Very similar on the eligibility, but a critical illness pays a lump sum benefit directly to you to help with out-of-pocket expenses as a result of a covered critical illness. Eligibility is exactly the same as the accident plan. Employee and spouse is 18 and up, children through 26, unless they're disabled, then it's indefinite. Critical illness plan, before I go through this slide, if you think about a life, everybody's very familiar with how life insurance works. You choose a benefit, there's a death benefit that gets paid to the beneficiary. The critical illness plan it sort of works the same way. You choose a face amount, $10,000 or $20,000. If you have one of the critical illnesses that we'll look at in a second, that face amount gets paid to you, or a portion of it, depending on which condition it is, and we'll look at how that works on the next slide. So there is an additional diagnosis benefit. You have a choice of $10,000 or $20,000 for a face amount. Dependent children are automatically covered at half of what the employee selects. So that's blanket coverage. So if you have 3 children and you choose the $10,000 benefit amount, each one of those kids up until 26 have $5,000 worth of coverage. You don't have to do anything. We don't have to get their names. We check that at time of claim. One of the big benefits that we like to highlight is that third bullet, $50 annual health screening benefit for all covered family members. What that means is every year, every calendar year, if you go get a health screening test, and we'll look at what those are in a minute, but that's, I'll just give you a couple of them right now. As you can see, COVID test. I bet you everybody, I just got over COVID 2 weeks ago. Most people have had COVID tests. A lot of people go get physicals, mammograms, eye exams, any kind of health screening test. You're going to get paid $50 a year, not per test, but per year. So you can get money back on your premium for you and any covered family member. So if you got 3 kids, again, that's $50 for you, all 3 children. If your spouse is covered, $50 for your spouse. So it's a good way to get some money back for going to get the test that you're probably going to get done already. There is, fourth bullet, there is an additional diagnosis benefit and a reoccurrence benefit. I'll talk about a little bit more what that means on the next slides. And then, like the accident plan, there are no pre-existing condition limitations. All right, critical illness. So what's covered under critical illness? So again, this is going to pay a $10,000 or $20,000 benefit, or there's a face amount of $10,000 or $20,000 for the diagnosis of serious conditions. So there's a lot of things covered, as you can see on this slide. So I'm going to start at the top in that orange box. Everything in that orange box is going to pay at 100% of that face amount. So the $10,000 or $20,000, if you got anything in that orange box, you're going to get the full $10,000 or $20,000. If you look at the left side of that box, that's where, most people get this coverage for those things on that left side: cancer, heart attack, stroke, cardiac arrest, bypass surgery, kidney failure. As you can see, this plan covers a lot of things, but those 5 or 6 things on that left side probably make up 90% of all the claims at Aflac. We cover a lot more things than that, but again, most people, I think, buy this coverage to cover themselves for the things that are most common, all those on the left side. There are other things, as you can see, and I won't read through all of them, but everything in the orange box covered at 100%. You come down to the blue box, these are also things that happen. Unfortunately, these are covered at 50% of the face amount. So if you have a $10,000 face amount, you are diagnosed with Alzheimer's, you're going to get a $5,000 benefit from that. Same for Parkinson's, Lou Gehrig's, and MS. Going to the green box right here, childhood conditions. These are specific conditions that happen, to children, infants, children when they're born. And so we created this little rider specifically for kids. If you have a child, again, that there's no cost to add your children, there's no cost for this rider. It's included in your cost. If children are diagnosed with anything in that green box, they get paid at 50%. And then finally, going to the far right, you can see benefits paid at $250. That's just a flat amount per year for skin cancer or TIA, transient ischemic attack.
So we have
All
some
right.
more questions. Are you ready?
Let me go over the next thing real quick, and then I'll pause.
Okay.
If that's okay. So I mentioned the health screening benefit. So again, this is something that we really try to promote. And if there's anybody on the phone that has the coverage, you may have just gotten a postcard in the mail from us. We work with y'all's benefits team to make sure that utilization on this particular benefit stays high. Everybody's aware of it. I think your team wants you to make sure you're going to get these tests. We want to make sure you're getting. We're recognizing the fact that you're going to get them, and so we want to make sure that this benefit's in place. Again, $50 per calendar year, not per test. $50 per calendar year for these tests. So this is a list. This is not all of the tests, but these are the most common tests. We have highlighted the 5 most common tests out of the most common, so you can see the top 5, and I'll just read them real quick: physicals, mammograms, biometric screening, blood screening, and eye exams. those are the most common 5 we see here at Aflac. The rest of the tests on here are also common ones we see a lot. There's a longer list that would not fit on one page, but we just wanted to show you kind of what the most common ones were. So again, you go get one of these tests, which hopefully you're already doing, then we will pay $50 per insured per year for doing that. And last thing I'll mention about the health screening, when you go apply for this particular benefit, it's so simple. We don't ask for any paperwork. We don't ask for any documentation. It's simply a take your word for it benefit. You go onto our app and we'll walk through what that looks like in the next few slides. You go into our app or the website to file a claim. You tell us what kind of test you had, when you had it, who the doctor was, and then finally, do you want to check or do you want to deposit it in your bank account? And that is it. We don't ask you for any other proof other than just telling us what you had. And 24 hours later, you're going to have the money in your account, or the check will be in the mail. And then last slide, Chris, and then I'll pause. So just again, how this works, this works a lot simpler than the accident plan. Again, it's just a face amount benefit. So again, I'm going to read left to right on this example. This individual selected $10,000. You experience chest pains and numbness. You visit the emergency room. The doctor determines you have suffered a heart attack. We send out a benefit of $10,000, and that is your money to do with what you want. The rates, these rates are tobacco based and age rated. So on the screen here, you can see this is an example of a 35-year-old, and if you're a tobacco user, non-tobacco user, and what the difference in rates are. Again, these are biweekly, very affordable plan. And, not because I work at Aflac, but this is another plan that I also have had for many, many years, hopefully. And when I do these, when I'm able to do group meetings like this and talk about the benefits, it reminds me to file my health screening because sometimes I forget. All right, Chris, I'm going to pause.
I'm glad you said that, because we do these presentations and I talk about the critical illness, the $50 for a screening too. You want to make sure you're using your benefits to their full potential. Okay, a couple of questions. Is it covered only in the US, or when we are traveling, can it cover?
It covers anywhere, but the treatment needs to be in the United States.
Okay. Would the premium be the same if you leave Pinellas County?
Yes, premiums do not change.
Okay. Now there's one.
Actually, well, let me footnote that this is an age-rated plan. And like life insurance, as you get older, the rates will go up in they're 5-year bands. So the rates that we have at Pinellas, which are much better, this is a very customized plan that we work with the broker for Pinellas and Pinellas to create this plan. When you do leave, and that's what I tell people, when you leave and you have opportunity to keep the coverage, this is going to be a much better plan and rate for you than you'd be able to get on your own. So, and a lot of people, do keep the plans when they leave, if they leave their jobs.
Okay, and then I have an adult child who is under 26 years old. My child lives out on his own. He does have insurance through his work, but it doesn't cover much. Can I carry my child on this plan?
So he's not a dependent child.
No.
I want to say yes, but we do call it dependent children. So Chris, let me take that and get back. Let me just confirm that. I don't want to guess and say the wrong thing.
All right. And then what do we need to provide to Aflac to prove we had the test? I think you already answered that.
For the health screening?
I'm assuming.
There is no proof. When you go online or when you go on the app, there'll be a list of tests that you'll select from that look very similar to this, but there'll be a lot more of them. And then you just simply choose the test that you had. You tell us when you had it, what date, and what doctor, who's your doctor, and that's it. There's no documentation that's needed.
Okay.
And Chris, I don't know. Do y'all have wellness fairs there? Do y'all do biometric screening on site or anything?
Not on site, but we do require a biometric screening every year.
Okay. Well, that would count too. And there's not even a doctor half the time involved in that.
Okay, and then what if you go to the ER for a swollen foot and ankle? Is this covered under the critical illness?
No.
Okay, that probably sounds like more of an accident. And then somebody wants to know how much is it for a 65-year-old?
65-year-old. Are y'all still seeing the PowerPoint?
Yeah, we still have the PowerPoint up. Mhm.
Let me see if I can find that real quick.
All right, I'm going to look as well.
All right, a 65-year-old, the rates are a lot higher. Let me see here. Chris, do you want me to just email these to you?
That would be fine. Yeah.
Okay.
And then the person that asked that question, I have your name. I will be emailing you the answer and a link on how to find the answer for all the rates as well. Okay. And then another question. Okay, this one I'm going to answer. Will we be able to get access to this recording to view later? Yes, we are recording this and we will post it. It'll be on the A to Z guide under A for annual enrollment when they post it. Okay, somebody wants to know how to file a claim, and I don't know if you'll touch on that moving forward.
Coming soon.
Okay, and then can I maintain the plan if I retire? I think you answered that already.
Yes.
I had Aflac last year, but didn't claim any benefits. Can I still claim last year's screenings plus this year's? It's a good question.
Absolutely. Yes, you can.
Okay.
And if you've had it for 2 years, you can go back 2 years.
Okay, and then somebody else asked for the rates, and I will send you that information as well. Okay, there's a question. Are there any other plans available, such as short-term or long-term disability? Okay, so this is just a session on the Aflac voluntary benefits. I will send you an email as well, just to open up communication between us. And I can go over some other things with you. Let me just get your name. Okay. Okay, and that was all the questions we have so far.
All right. I love it. I love all the interaction. And next year we're going to do this live, and I'm going to throw out ducks to everybody that has a question. All right, hospital. This is our last plan that Aflac offers. Hospital indemnity. Very, very similar. Exactly the eligibility of the other two. This is designed to help with out-of-pocket expenses associated with a covered hospital stay, and this could be for a sickness or accident. Eligibility is exactly the same, 18 and up for employee and spouse, children 0 to 26. And I do have that one follow-up on, dependent versus non-dependent child. All right, so what does the hospital indemnity plan look like? There is a high and low option, just very similar to the accident plan. And I'm just going to go over what these 4 things are that are covered. Hospital admission. So if you are admitted to the hospital for any reason, and this could be an accident, this could be this could be a severe, something like critical illness, this could be pregnancy, this could be a lot of different things you're admitted to the hospital for. When you're admitted to the hospital, let's just look at the low plan, there's a benefit of $500 that gets paid just for being admitted. That second row, every day you're confined to a hospital, every day you're in a room in the hospital, $100 a day under the low plan, up to 30 days. And you can see what the high plan differences are, it's just double. If you are confined to an ICU, that's $400 per day. And that pays in addition to the hospital confinement. So if you're in the ICU, you're going to get a total of $500 per day for every day in your ICU under that low plan, or on the high plan, $1,000 a day. Emergency room observation. If anybody's been to the ER in the last few years, hopefully not too many people, but if you've been in the ER, they sometimes the rooms are full, the doctors are extra busy, and you are under what they call observation. So you're not technically assigned to a room, you're not technically admitted to the hospital, you're just in observation. So we created this benefit, and this is something again that's newer and Pinellas specific, that we will pay a lesser benefit because you're not actually admitted to the hospital, and it's usually generally a lesser reason or a less serious reason you're in the hospital, but there is a benefit for ER observation. Down below, some of the key features we like to point out: no pre-existing condition limitation. Again, pregnancy is covered, and I just want to mention this about pregnancy. About half the claims we see on this plan are for pregnancy. When we say there are no pre-existing condition limitations, that includes pregnancy, as long as, so you could be 9.5 months, well, I mean, you could be 8.5 months pregnant. As long as that baby is born after January 1st or after the effective date of coverage, you're covered, or we will pay these benefits. So conception doesn't have to happen after, just the birth of that child has to happen after the effective date. And we get that question a lot. Newborn coverage for 60 days. What that means is, even if you only elect yourself, again, this goes hand in hand with the pregnancy. If you only elect yourself, and don't elect family coverage, and the newborn, the child is in the hospital for a day or 2 days for whatever reason, that child will have confinement benefits automatically, even though you didn't sign up for it. So every day you're in the hospital, let's say 2 days for pregnancy, that's $200 or $400 a day. Every day that child, excuse me, is in the hospital, that's $100 a day or $200 a day, even if you don't elect that coverage. So it's just something we pay in addition to give you a little more benefit if there's a reason that a newborn child needs to be in the hospital. And there's, like the other plans, there's no termination age. The plan, or you can see right here with the premiums, again, these are biweekly premiums. These are not age rated, they're not tobacco based. They are simply, do you want the high plan or the low plan, and who do you want to cover? So again, another very affordable plan. And all these rates, including the critical illness, will be on the portal when you go on there, that you'll see, the rates that or the plan that you choose and the rates that go along with it. All right, and finally, just like the other two, I want to go through an example. Hospital indemnity plan, the high plan is selected. Insured has a high fever and goes to the emergency room. Physician admits insured to the hospital. That insured stays in the hospital for 2 days. The benefit is $1,400. The breakdown is below. They took the high plan again, so that admission benefit is going to be $1,000. They're in the hospital for 2 days. That's $200 per day equals $400. Hospital indemnity plan will pay out $1,400, and the biweekly cost is $7.06. So Chris, I'll stop right there and see if there are any new questions.
Okay, so there's a few. Most of the people are just wanting the rates, and I know they're on the slides too. And everybody, you can also, again, go to the A to Z guide, and under A for Aflac or even annual enrollment will have rates, but I am writing down your names. I'll email them to you as well. Okay, some questions. When entering my ID information on the app doesn't seem to recognize my credentials, such as social security number. Where do I receive? Okay.
Oh yeah, I think with you guys I think we're under. You have employee ID number, correct? We're using that for y'all.
Yeah, we also have a group number we give out, and I'll make sure I I'm going to answer this question with that group number. There's a group number that you can use as well. Okay, and then another question is, my husband was in the hospital in a room on the floor for 4 days, but was not officially admitted. It was viewed as observation. Would that apply?
It really depends on what the documentation comes back as, but if you're saying, so they're saying that they were in a room for 4 days, but the bill came back and said observation.
Yes,
That's
was in the hospital in a room on the floor for 4 days, but not officially admitted.
Oh my goodness. Well, I can't say exactly what we pay without seeing the documentation, but in that instance, um, you know, even sometimes when the bill will say observation, we do put common sense behind what we see. So if you have someone that's in the hospital in a room for 4 days and that bill says observation, we would most likely pay that out as a confinement benefit. So you get the full benefit, not the observation benefit. But again, without seeing the documentation, I can't say for sure, but we've had that happen before. Well, you'll have someone in the hospital for multiple days, and for whatever reason, we don't know why they do this, but they'll say observation, not confinement, which is very strange. If you're in the hospital and you're in a room, you're clearly staying overnight. It doesn't make any sense why it would be called observation really to us. So we do generally pay that out as confinement. Does that answer
Okay,
the question?
there's several questions, like giving, things that happened. I'm going to reach out to this person. They said they went to urgent care, referred to emergency room. And I guess they're having some problems with the process. So I'll reach out to them. But a couple quick questions is, they just want to be sure that the premium would not be higher if they left Pinellas County.
No change. No change
Okay.
in benefits or premium. Correct.
And then it seems like some people are still, like, somebody asked, how does this plan coincide with our Cigna PPO plan? And there's a lot of questions about insurance. So maybe if you could touch on the difference between the health insurance and the Aflac supplemental.
Yeah, again, so these plans are 100% voluntary, and the premiums these premiums right here, these are the total premiums. So, and they're paid only by y'all or by the insured, which means that the benefits are not coordinated with any medical plan. They're not coordinated with any other plan. The premiums are paid 100% by the employee. The benefits are 100% paid to the employee. So we don't offset. So if in this example, if this exact same thing happened and $1,400 is the benefit that we were going to pay, it doesn't matter. We don't look at your medical plan. We don't look at any other plan. We don't look at your deductible or any copays or anything like that. You're going to get a check or a deposit for $1,400. And then when you get that, and this is for all three plans, this is for accident, critical illness, and hospital. When you get the benefits from Aflac, that is your money to do with what you want. You can pay the doctors with it. You can buy groceries with it. You can go to the movies with it. You can, what are you doing? You can go to Orlando. It's your money to do with what you want. And we don't look at anything, and we don't look at any other benefits that you may or may not have.
Okay, and one more, this is a really good question too. Somebody asked, can you compare the hospital plan with the accident plan, and why should I have both?
So the accident plan only covers accidental injuries. So that's the main difference. So the accident plan, you're going to get benefits. There are some hospital benefits included in the accident plan, but not as rich as the hospital indemnity plan. The accident plan, again, only covers accidents. Whereas the hospital plan, if you go to the hospital for any reason, then you're going to get the admission and the confinement benefits. So the hospital plan would cover sicknesses as well as accidents. And I don't know if y'all, earlier I mentioned that our accident plan, if you took all the Aflac accident claims, about half of them go to the children. If you took all of our hospital indemnity claims, and not that it's only for pregnancy, but about half of them end up being for pregnancy. But a lot of people have these plans. They have them because they are expecting a child, or they're planning on they're planning on adding to their family. But it's also, again, a lot of people have these plans because of deductibles and things that may happen. I mean, a lot of these plans, just like anything, for serious conditions, for only critical illness, for cancer, heart attack, stroke, for car, these are catastrophic. These things help with minor things, but they also are there for catastrophic things to help in the event of something, bad that happens. We hope nothing does. You hope you don't really have to use all the benefits that you have, but that's the main reason they're there. So to summarize, I know that was a mouthful, but the accident plan, accidents only. The hospital indemnity plan pays you just hospital benefits for sicknesses or accidents or pregnancy. I hope that answered the question.
It seemed like
and y'all, thank you for asking these questions. I've been on some of these where you get no questions, so this is great. Thank you for the interaction. Excuse me.
okay. Let's see. If my husband carries these plans on his job outside of the county, do you pay on both plans?
Yes. That's a frequent thing too. And generally they're going to be different plans, because for Pinellas, for our larger customers like Pinellas, we are customizing these plans based on what we're asked to build. So these are special. You couldn't get something exactly like this somewhere else. And that person who asked that question, their husband's plan, they might be similar, but there's most likely going to be some differences. But we would pay under both.
That was all the questions for right now.
Okay, great questions. All right, claims and customer service. So what I've got up here on the screen is I know at least one person has coverage already that was trying to file a claim or seeing what was happening in the process. So what I've got up here on the screen, we took screenshots of the app. We took screenshots of the app filing, or if you're filing a health screening claim. All the other benefits look very similar. They're just a lot more, there's more questions and there's documents to upload, but I want to walk you through sort of the flow of what it looks like, so what you can expect to see. First of all, the app, this is for Androids and for iPhones, or for Apples. So if you go to the App Store on either one of those, then you'll see it's called the My Aflac app. And when you get this, you download it, you create an account just like you would for anything. You'll be able to see your coverages, you'll be able to file claims, you'll be able to see where your claim is in the process if you filed a claim. So again, I want to just real quickly walk through these screens from left to right. So which critical illness benefit are you applying for? You're going to have wellness on your plan. So you click wellness. When did it happen? Plug in a date. The third little slide there, you'll see select screening type. I didn't do it here, but there's a pull down box, if you can see that on the screen. There's a bunch of different benefits right there. Physician details, the name of your doctor, a telephone number, if you have it. If you don't, it's not even it won't stop you. You can leave it blank. And then how would you like to be paid? Direct deposit. If you click that, and you have not created an account, it will ask you for your bank account information, or mail me a paper check. And that literally is it. So it's a very, very simple plan. You don't, again, for the health screening, you do not have to upload any documentation. You just fill out exactly as you see on the screen, and you'll get paid. This little QR code, we put this on here because we did just mail out postcards to current insureds to remind them to file it. And we've got this nifty, cute little duck QR code that if you scan it with your phone, like everybody's used to doing now with menus, it'll take you right to our website to file a claim. So any questions right there?
There's no questions on that.
All right. And then finally, we've got this a couple times today already. You may continue your coverage if you leave. I won't read through all these bullets, but in general, if your coverage is effective, you leave your employer, you will be able to continue it at the same benefits and the same rate you're currently paying, and it will stay in force as long as you continue to pay the benefit, as long as you continue to pay the premiums. You pay us directly, and the benefits don't change. They work exactly the same way as if you were still with Pinellas. And then finally, questions. Most questions can be answered on our website. And I know you guys have a lot of tools there. Chris and the benefits team y'all been so good, Chris, about just all the communications and all the support. I know y'all have got a ton of resources and information out there about Aflac, but most questions are right here, aflacgroupinsurance.com, or our 800 number 433-3036.
Okay. And then Jim, we have a couple of questions. There's a specific question somebody wants me to ask you. With the significant price change for critical illness due to age, would you recommend the accident and hospital only? The price increase is a major concern and paying upon retirement.
Yeah. Like life insurance, the critical illness prices do increase every 5 years as you get older.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Well, this is part of it too. This is the same individual. They have an Aflac individually and with the county. Would you recommend canceling the individual because obviously the coverages are much different?
I would have to know exactly what they have. I mean, the plans mostly are not apples to apples. So I would hate to recommend something without actually looking at both sides, because you don't want to give up some benefits that may be important to that person, to go with something that is probably, these plans are probably going to be less expensive. But I don't know specifically what's covered on their other plans to make that recommendation.
Gotcha. Okay. And then let's see what other questions.
And I think, Chris, I think all the brochures that go into all the detail on the plans are on y'all's website, correct?
Say it again, Jim. I'm sorry.
So these plans, if y'all didn't know this, we have brochures, PDF versions of brochures that I think are on y'all's website.
Yeah. Yep. We have links to all of those. Okay. And then somebody asked, do we have to prove with the receipts and the hospital bill in any accident plan or hospital plan?
Yeah, we would need documentation for any claim other than the health screening claim. We would need documentation from the doctor or the hospital.
Okay. Okay, it looks like that's all I have right now. If anybody else wants to type any more questions.
All right. Well, that brings us to the very end with the duck on top of y'all's water tank. All right. Well, if anything comes up, Chris, just email me, and just want to again thank everybody for their time during their lunch break to sit on the phone with Aflac.